There's the paintings that you do when you know exactly what you want to come up with. And then there's the ones that come out of nowhere and they surprise you and you're like, where did that come from? And then there are ones that you kind of see a glimpse of, and then you pull in the rest of the elements and complete the image. The last thing in the world that I had ever planned for, but it definitely fits with what what I wanted for my life, something creative, something that I had potential to do. I went to college and was going to do marriage and family counseling, be a counselor, and I dug people. It's like, oh, what a cool thing to have an effect on people's lives, and it's kind of crazy. I nixed that idea pretty quick. Ever since high school, I would design, the airbrush that I wanted to pay somebody to put on my board, and somewhere around the time I was about 19 or 20, my shaper's like, you seem like Sean Stussy, which is very cool, big inspiration. That guy rules. Just like, why don't you paint your own stuff? You know how to do this. You know what you want. Just get the blank, and get some paint and nails. So I started painting my surfboards. Conventional art kind of dropped in my lap, where I had a friend when I was 26, got back from Paris, and my birthday and Christmas and everything, and he gave me this art kit. This was like 1996, little beginner's art kit, and I was laughing, going, what the hell is this? What do I do with this? But it kind of got me going, and started doing like conventional paintings. It's like, oh, this is kind of what I've been doing all along. It's kind of the way I look at the world. It's just, here's a conventional way to demonstrate it, and for a lot of people, that was what drew them to me. It's like, oh, a painting. You're a painter. You're not just someone who paints surfboards. So sometimes after a storm, all the stuff washes out of the river jays, and I'll come out here, and sometimes I'll come across, like, this is trash, but I'll throw this out when I get back. Find a piece of wood or something, like, oh, cool. Something to paint on, something different, I'm kind of over like canvases and stuff, but kind of cool tones and stuff. That's a little small. I've found like bitchin' signs and just all kinds of stuff, but they wash up and they collect in, perfect. They collect in the jetties, and kind of cool. Oh, watch out for those nails, but just grab something like this, and it's got all these bitchin', elements to it already. So it makes the walk just a little bit more poignant, something to take back and be creative and paint. So this little sucker on, just got to make room. That's really the main thing. Some brushes. Figure out what the heck I'm going to do here. The only reason I can make a living and do this is that other people are digging what I'm doing. They're feeling it. They're like, oh, I don't like, I never was into art before, and I've seen your stuff, and whoa, it's kind of like music. You hear something, and you're like, whoa. People see it, and they're like, I don't know anything about art, but I like your stuff, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. I think I'm going to do like a cool little surf landscape, a little late afternoon, so I'm going to put in a horizon here. I'm just going to start putting paint on. I love these lines here, and to me, they're telling me something. Some pieces I see right away, and I can tell how they're going to look in the end. Others, I kind of just have to get started and start putting paint on. Once you start putting paint on, it starts to take form. When I started this, they're like, oh, starving artist, are you ready to starve? And you'll be famous when you're dead. And so I'm going to be that guy who's not dead, and I'm going to get to enjoy whatever fame or fortune I have, whether it's starving or not. I kind of figured out this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's kind of like once you get in that little pocket of energy, it's just like everything kind of falls into place to facilitate it. Because I can see this little shadow here. It's telling me there's like a little wave there. I can see it coming in from the outside, so I like to paint straight from the tube, whether it's oils or acrylics, just right out of the tube. It keeps it really fresh, those colors. I mean, that's it. That's the element. That's what we're trying to get here. Just this little life. So right here, I'm just going to paint in a little wave. That's the shadow of a little whitewater. Where this is going to end up or what shape of wave, we'll just see what happens. The great thing about it is that's not what's important. throw a little green. All of a sudden, you know, there's this illusion I'm following right now. I'm seeing where this is going to lead me. I kind of am just letting the wood dictate it, this free form, no plan. I don't feel like I have to paint in any particular style. You know, it's total freedom. I laugh when people, you know, are concerned with so much with staying in one style. I mean, so many of the great artists and definitely the people that I respect and admire and kind of can relate to, you know, could paint anything. You know, a lot of women, to me, you know, that's kind of like the natural human representative for beauty in the world. So it's kind of, if I'm going to convey some sort of person or whatnot, I mean, how can you beat the female figure? Everything that I do, it inspires me, and then somehow it translates into kind of a realistic or a surrealistic or an abstract expression of whatever I'm feeling. And this is fun. This doesn't look like anything that I've ever done, other than the fact that it's, you know, it's kind of a surf scene. And I mean, I could take this so many different directions. All of a sudden, it was like, wow, there's a way that I can make a living doing this. And that was what I kind of always been waiting for in my life, to find something that I could be creative at and also kind of control my own destiny, be my own boss, and then have a positive effect on whoever's looking at my art. You know, again, it's like the hardest thing in the world. You know, it's so hard to survive as a fine artist. You know, there's always room for graphic artists, but a fine artist in any industry is, I mean, it takes, you know, as people say, it takes a lifetime to be successful enough to make a living. I've been fortunate enough to do it in a very short time, and had a lot of love and support. You know, that's the reality for an artist. It's create something and then figure out how to get paid for it.